The melting ice cream. How a relationship can melt slowly. My wife told me she had slept with another man last summer. I was upset, of course, but I accepted the truth about it until I found out that they became friends on Facebook. We had been having problems leading up to this point, and she had been having some issues. She left and got a place of her own in September. We have been together for 17 years and have 3 children together. She resumed her relationship with the man she had told me about in the summer. I got temporary custody of our children and she received after-school visitation with no overnights. In December I made an effort to reconcile and she told me she was pregnant and in love with this OM. I had a vasectomy after our last child and I am sure that it is not mine. I am not so sure that she wanted to get pregnant. In January she stated that she still loved me and wants to work this out, and we have been counseling twice. She also was convicted of a DUI in January. She has had no contact with the OM for 2 weeks, but I am sure he is wanting to be involved with this child. I love my wife and don't want our kids to have a broken home. How do we tell them that their mother is pregnant from another man? I am mainly contemplating this for our children. If OM gets courts involved, will this child carry his name? A baby from this affair is enough, but this OM being involved has me concerned for the long term. Should I try to make our marriage work, or is it damaged beyond repair? Comments. I don't think I could ever reconcile with my wife if she left me and became pregnant with OM's baby. You have the kids. Let her live in the new life she created for herself. That's my take. I get that you don't want your children to live in a broken home, but you did not break up your family. Here's why I think that your wife's remorse is not real, or why I think you are her plan B. She now wants to reconcile with you because 1. You have primary custody of the kids. No child support. And 2. Real life isn't going so hot for her right now with her DUI. And my hunch is this OM really doesn't want to be saddled with a child. Why does she want to reconcile now after she became pregnant? Simple. She's about to become a single mom with a DUI on her license. And her OM is probably distancing himself from her as we speak. Think very long and hard about this before you commit to an R with this woman. I think she is playing you, but only you will know for sure. Good luck with trying to figure it out. I gave my opinion for what it's worth. You need to have your head checked pronto if you are even considering R with this nut of a woman. It is sick. The whole situation is sick. Cut her loose fast. Believe me, you do not want to continue this marriage. You will never live a normal or happy life again. Let the other man raise the child, not you. Yeah, what will you tell your kids? Oh, mommy got herself pregnant with some other guy. Here's your new half-sister. Brother, once a cheater, liar always a liar. They can never be trusted again. OP responds, I do still love her and I am the one that told her to leave after I saw they became friends on FB. She still has her place but has been staying at home for the last few weeks and is trying to make this work. We are going to church together again and are in counseling. I just wanted to clear the air on one fact. I felt she was unstable at the time and I asked her to leave after I found she befriended OM on FB. She resented me for taking her away from her children and feels I was using the kids against her. I got temporary custody and she basically could watch them after school but could not stay overnight. I have at least committed to trying to make this work for now, but I do not see how we are going to deal with all of this as she becomes even more noticeable, and the kids are going to find out sooner than later unless we tell them it is our child. What are my options with OM to keep him away? How are my kids going to handle it if they know their brother sister has another dad? It opens up a whole new can of worms. Our oldest is 10, youngest 6. Had the D papers written up in December after I found out about pregnancy. Thought we were at point of no return then. I am still not convinced that we are not. It really is going to depend on how she handles OM and how much trouble OM is going to be. I do not want him in our life in any way. I feel that his involvement will sink any reconciling we have started on, regardless of the fact that he is bio dad. How do I get him out of our lives? I want the best for my children and I am trying to figure out which path that means I need to take. 3 months later, I struggled hard detaching from my ex, but it took some time. But I finally realized the pain of raising another child and chasing her back is out of my reach. I still think about her at times, but it's slowly fading. Also, I've been going to pubs and just enjoying myself. Not hanging out with the ladies, but just grabbing a beer and enjoy some football. I know I can get through this, just give me some time. Story 2. 2 weeks ago, my husband called me and said he loves me but he not in love with me. He said he needed time alone and didn't know who he was anymore. He was away in Ireland for work where he had remained these 2 weeks so far. He says there is no one else and I believe him. My mother had been visiting from Canada for a month, and he has been away a lot. He travels for work. And I saw him for a few days after she left and he was very withdrawn before he left for Ireland. I was so shocked by what he said and upset. He is self-employed and has had a difficult year, but things have been improving lately. He is very stressed much of the time. It feels like he is going through a crisis of some kind. I have taken advice from some books and have become more independent and keeping busy with different hobbies and friends. I know I was too reliant on him before as I didn't have a lot of confidence and few friends. I am texting only for essential purposes and not calling or saying anything about myself. Did someone 80? I have coped fairly well, been busy, taking up new and old activities and hobbies. However, I felt desperate to talk to him, and finally I broke my 180 and texted him asking him to come home. He replied he just wanted to be alone. So, I am done with waiting, longing, hoping, done with the sadness and loneliness. Well, the last two may come back now and again, but I have resolved to just get on with my life. Obviously, I want my husband back, but I am not in control of him. I'm feeling more positive, though still have to remind myself to do the right thing for me. Whether it's eating, exercising, meeting new people, taking action, the only way is up. I refuse to live in limbo anymore. Had a great day today, went to a personal development workshop this morning. I nearly didn't go as I was nervous, worried no one would like me, or that everyone else was just fine and I was the only one screwed up. I made myself go as being scared is no longer a good enough reason not to do something. I've been avoiding so much for so long, I need to take an action and stop overthinking. Anyway, it was just fab, a real friendly group, and I learned some useful tools and techniques to help myself. If ever you have a chance to do NLP, I would definitely say go for it. Sorry if this is the wrong place for this. I just wanted to share it. I'm on antidepressants and waiting for a counseling appointment. It hasn't been easy for me. The more I do for myself, the better I feel. H hasn't initiated contact and I have left him to work it out for himself. Some months ago, he got fed up with Facebook and took himself off it. He didn't close his account, but withdrew it. I remember he said he would be able to reinstate if he wanted. Anyway, he has been off FB for months, but yesterday I noticed on my profile it said married to, with his name. Before that it just said married. Sorry if this isn't making any sense. Anyway, he is suddenly back on Facebook, though has not been posting or commenting. I should say I am tempted to say hi on his page but have held back so far. I suspect he is on FB to check in on what I am doing. Or possibly not. However, I'm in two minds about it. My first thought was great. He's still interested enough to possibly be checking in on me. My second thought was if he sees what I'm up to, he will not feel the need to get in touch. My H left for a work trip and hasn't come back. It's been 5 weeks. He won't talk to me but will text finances. He's in touch with his sister and she thinks he's having a breakdown. He had worked almost every day for the past few years. Money is tight, he's self-employed and it's been very hard. Anyway, we've not been having a lot of bonding the past year. And I've blamed myself for that. I guess I've turned into LD, and I do get very tired in the evenings. I'm so quick to take the blame. Since he left, I've fallen back into blaming myself for everything. Something I read on here today made me rethink that. He is a good listener and supportive of me, but he doesn't share feelings very much and admitted his childhood affected him where he can't talk about things like that. He does share some things but a lot goes unsaid. I can tell when he's unhappy or thinking about something but he won't tell me. It's like I've just realized maybe it's not all my fault. Since he left, I've been working on myself. I'm back and I see. I'm trying to get out more and meet new people. I was too reliant on my H. I have given long thought to what part I played in this. I do think I have a tendency to see everything I did wrong and perhaps not the whole picture. We've always been close and had fun together, and always loved each other. Been married 12 years, very loving and kind to each other, but the passion has faded somewhat. As he won't talk to me, I've sent C few emails outlining what I think went wrong. Last email was a bit pleading. I know, I have to stop doing that. Been recently diagnosed with depression. Doctor think I've been like that for a while. Even before H leaving me. Of course, it's gotten a lot worse since then. I've been dissociating for a while, telling the doctor I was actually fine and coping really well when the evidence in various forms I'd completed showed I was doing very badly. How messed up is that? I've just dropped Facebook, deactivated it. I can't face all those happy people anymore. I told friends and family, and beside the one, "Oh, that's too bad, I'm sorry, blah blah blah." They haven't asked at all. And these same people writing notes about how great their marriage is, loading holiday pics of them all loved up. I just can't take it. No one gives a crap anyway. I may as well drop off the face of the earth. The only people calling me are wanting money off me for bills I can't pay. It's like I'm finally feeling my depression instead of saying how great everything is. 6 weeks ago, my H left me. It's been tough on me, but gradually I'm becoming stronger and happier. This separation has helped me become a better person. I'm determined to live my life now and not just sitting waiting for him to come back. I'm so done with being sad and lonely. Feelings may come and go, but I don't want to wallow anymore. Just found out my H, who left me 7 weeks ago, is seeing someone. I don't know if they've had a pa, but I really suspect he has. He rang an old friend of his, drunk, and when asked where he was, said he was his apartment, and he hasn't told me because my H told him not to. Like he deserved protection. He doesn't know I know, yet. Toyed with not telling him, but not sure if that benefits me. How do I handle this? Do I call him on it? Do I stay quiet? Is there a benefit to this? It's probably obvious what I should do, but I've never been in this position. H called. He knows I know now. First call in T months. He's been seeing someone. Met her in a bar while in Ireland. He's not working, self-employed. Things are going to crap for him. He's not sure if he wants to come back. He said what he did finished our marriage. He's been under huge stress. I'm not condoning or excusing what he did, but just laying out the facts. Our bonding life had diminished to next to nothing over the last 6 months. I asked him what he wants to do. He doesn't know. He will come back to England for work and said he will support me financially as best he can. This was probably wrong, but I said I think I deserve to at least talk with him properly. This is the first contact in 2 months since he left. I want him back. I know he cheated on me, but if he was prepared to work things through, then I would too. He seems very confused. He said he's been drinking a lot. I asked him about this girl and said how does he feel, and he said she seems pretty keen on me. I don't think he knows how he feels. I'm devastated, angry, pissed off, in so much pain. He never talked to me before he left. I knew something was up as he was withdrawn, and I would ask him what's on his mind. I never had the chance to talk about it or try to repair what was wrong. I don't even know if he will come see me when he's back in England next week. I am angry, hurt, disappointed, sad. I also feel relieved the truth is out. The not knowing was ruining me. He called to confirm it. He is very remorseful. He went to Ireland for work. He is self-employed, and it all went wrong and he lost everything. He has been hiding his head in the sand. He has been drinking very heavily. He met her in a bar. She also drinks. He is coming back to England in a week for work. He thinks our marriage is over because of his cheating. Besides a very brief call, I've had no chance to talk with him about it. He just seems unable to face it. I asked if I would see him and he said he's not sure. My husband had a really dysfunctional childhood. Mother was an alcoholic and the 2 kids were left to raise themselves and steal food when they could. He's never been in therapy. He has had a problem expressing his feelings, and when I talked to him, he couldn't even tell me how he felt about anything. He didn't sound like the same person. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to see him and talk about what's happened. Or maybe just do something together and talk when he's ready. I've decided I want to reconcile and for both of us to heal. He needs to go into therapy and I am already working on myself. He just doesn't seem able to face it. I am going through all the usual emotions, but I still love him and want to reconcile. At this point he can't face me. I've sent a couple texts, emails saying what I think. I know he probably needs time to figure out what he wants. I will leave him alone now and hope he contacts me soon. I just want to know when he will face up to it and see me, but that's not in my control. Yesterday I noticed he was on Facebook. Thought maybe he was FB stalking. Went on today and he has removed his married and put in a relationship and has added his O as a friend. Oh, and her birthday's the same as his. How adorable is that? Called my sister-in-law, who has been my rock, and after crying down the phone, finally tuned into my anger. I've gone on his page, wrote good luck with your relationship. I hope it's everything you wanted. I can see you don't want to work on our marriage, so I will stop bothering you now and will be blocking you now. I also told sister-in-law not to tell him that I'm sad or upset, but that I'm moving on and happy. I refuse to let him see me upset. Oh my God, I am such a fool. Because I thought he was going through an MLC breakdown, I've withheld my anger and supported his pathetic ass. Oh, I am so done now. I'm going to hold my head high even if he isn't. What a nasty piece of crap. I don't know why he did it unless to wind me up and kick me in the gut one more time for good measure. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she is married. Saw her pic, that's all. They're both in Ireland. He's a drinker and so is she. Met in a bar. It must be true love. I'm in the UK. No children. We did fertility treatment years ago. It didn't work out. He didn't seem too upset. I was devastated, of course. I can't file for divorce because I haven't a penny. He racked up debts on my credit card and 2 loans all in my name because he had bad credit at the time. I say, I haven't worked since 2015. Have been studying at college but had to drop out this year due to lack of finances. I have no income. Put my last $60 into the car for petrol. We rent a house, expensive too because he was doing so well at the time. Sent a brief 2-line email to my H last night. Said good luck in his new relationship and that I will make it with or without him. When I sent that, I felt like I had released not only him but also a little of the pain. This morning feels different, like a new start. All this time I've been chasing, begging, trying to engage him in conversation, texting, calling, fixing. I am so done. Everyone says focus on you, but that's been impossible. But this morning it feels easy and natural. Maybe it's just the roller coaster, but for now it's wonderful to be able to rise above it. My WH is still talking to family and friends who I thought would be telling him where to go. It really pisses me off that he feels free to chat with people despite still cheating on me. People who I thought were loyal to me. Am I wrong here? I know I can't do a damn thing about it, so just have to suck it up like everything else. He is back in the UK now, working, so his sister tells me. He does talk to her, though very little. She told me the OW is no longer on his Facebook friends list. I blocked him ages ago, but in itself that doesn't mean much, I presume. It's not like he's come back asking for forgiveness. I reckon he's also had an MLC. So, what do you think is going on? Any suggestions or advice? Any thoughts on why he is still so withdrawn from me? He also has promised to help me financially, and it was hit and miss for a while. He was in Ireland for several months not working and drinking loads and he met her in a bar. But he is sending money more frequently now and texted that hopefully in Jan he can start help paying off the debts he left me with. He also told his sister she isn't all that, and he dislikes some of her personality characteristics. I do want to have a conversation but he is unwilling. He has said he knows we need to talk at some point. He calls his sister from time to time and said he'd drop by over the holidays. He and his sister are very close, dysfunctional childhood with alcoholic mother. And he can't even open up to her. Anyway, he said he'd come to see her, which would be the first time he's seen any of his family in all this time. But so far that hasn't happened. My sister-in-law tells me what he says in phone calls, which is very little. I just wish he would call me instead. I've made it clear we can just hang out or take the dogs for a walk. My sister-in-law says he feels very guilty. My H sent me text regarding the rent and also said we need to talk soon and that H is definitely not coming back. I was disappointed as all this time I'd been holding out hope he would come back. I don't know if he is still the OW, or if he just fancies the single life. I'm not going to plead or beg, have too much self-respect now. I was holding out for R once he got out of the fog, as there are reasons that contributed to how things have turned out. Obviously, he is solely responsible for the affair. Guess I have to give up hope now. I was on here the other day moaning about my STBX, feeling hopeless etc. Just wanted to report my mood is on the rise and I have everyone here to thank. I was scared I was really falling into a slump. I've got my game face on now for keeps. I'm done with the X, OW can have him. I deserve so much better, as everyone here does. I've got plans now, ready to make my life into a thing of awesomeness. Just found out my H is not alone living in Bristol. I thought his O was still in Ireland, but no, she's with him in Bristol. I am beyond devastated. It hurts just as bad as D-Day. I was hopeful if she was in Ireland still, he might come out of his fog. It's been 4 months. I'm an idiot. He texted me he was broke, so I offered to help him and sell some stuff to help him out. I even offered him the spare room in my house to help him save money on rent. God, I miss him. I just want him back. I know that's wrong and I know you all will tell me to forget him, but it's hard. I can't turn off my feelings for him. Married 12 years, we were so close, always talked, very loving. And bam, I've lost my best friend and my husband. I am finding it hard to go on. What's the point in anything? I feel like life is over. Is it too much to expect that your friends delete your ex off FB and break off contact? I didn't think it was, but I'm wrong. He still has all his friends. Absolutely zero consequences for him. I am so pissed off. I thought my so-called friends would stand up for me, but apparently not. Feel so let down. Update. H still won't talk to me nor has seen me since. Only communicates via text. He always says hope me and the animals are fine, 2 dogs and 3 cats. But these are just words it seems. He says he knows he has treated me like Sean T. Still hurts though. Had first conversation 3 days ago, regarding my possible bankruptcy. He actually talked to me but did not reveal or open up much. Says he feels guilty and remorseful and is thinking of moving to California on a whim. He is going to be seeing a counselor starting Tuesday. Sometimes I think I feel detached and just wish him well. Other times I can't believe he has done this. Yes, he has a lot of baggage and was very unhappy, but still he cheated on me, hooked up with her in a bar. His sister, who I am very close with, thinks he is a total piece of crap and says she doesn't even think he's happy with his O. For a year, my H's business went nuts. He has worked nearly every day for the past several years. I know he has been depressed for some time. I think he had an MLC breakdown. He is broke now and owes plenty of people money. When he left, he said he would not leave me in the Sean T as I am severely in debt. Debt which he accrued in my name as he wasn't able to qualify for loans and such. All of the debt went to supporting the business. He is trying to rebuild things, but it's not easy. He moved to Bristol for work and his GF followed him. She is on the dole now. The reality, however, is that I am facing bankruptcy now. My January rent has only been half paid. I am scared. My H promises he will sort it, but he is obviously struggling. The rent is in both our names. Having said that, I'm sure his flat in Bristol is up to date in rent. I know I have been too easy on him as I felt bad for him. I wanted to R. He says he is confused. I don't know the O, so can't expose her, but have exposed my H to friends and family. It didn't have much impact on him. In fact, he has very little consequence. I cannot file for D as he is still paying me some rent and bills. And I can't pay for a thing on my own. I won't get a penny in D anyway, and I certainly can't afford D as have just PS 60 left to my name. I haven't worked in years. I'm looking for work, but it's tough. I am very depressed and on medication to help, but I really am at the bottom. Feel like there's nothing left for me. I wish I could wake him up from his fog. I'm probably going to evicted soon with no rent being paid. Feeling scared as hell. We were very close and loving all our married life. I'm left having to deal with everything on my own. If I didn't have the animals, I know I'd never get up from bed and would probably be thinking seriously about doing myself in. I think about it now but won't do it. Talked to my H twice this past week. It's very clear he is severely messed up. The O isn't that important to him. He made that clear. I have empathy for him, but I just can't get emotionally involved. His business is better now, so he is helping more, and my rent is up to speed thanks to him. Felt like he was being honest with me for the first time in months. He wasn't feeding me any lines or anything, but I need to let him go and heal himself now, as I need to heal myself. I've been offered a home by dear friends living elsewhere. They've offered me their lovely farmhouse to rent for an extremely low rent. They have 3 dogs themselves, so they don't care about the animals. Moving April. I need to find a job for April and a short-term job here now. My doctor upped my meds on Friday as I've been a mess the past 2 weeks, and she's put me on the urgent list for therapy, so hopefully that comes through soon. If not, H offered to pay for private counseling if I want to see someone now. Feel like I can breathe a little now. Not quite so desperate. Still much to do, so I must get on with it. 2 months later, I still believe him to be in midlife crisis. And from what I know and what I've read, he is on his own journey and I need to let him go. My learning has been slow. I have refused to accept the obvious, time and time again. But I am here now, peaceful and calm and accepting. I need to heal me. I keep falling backwards, falling into the victim chair. But I am done looking back, and I really hope I don't fall backwards again. I am still a bit weak and need to build myself up emotionally. Also physically. My last action on my previous thread was to sabotage myself, and I triggered for 2 days. No more of that, ever. I need to be my best advocate. Was that a good choice? No. It's time to become the me I want to be. It's time to be authentic and real to myself. I still know evenings are tough for me, so I am scheduling up every evening till the end of time. Yesterday I went to a meetup. It was fab. Had a great time. Tonight, I have yoga. Saturday, I have either a housewarming or another meetup with the same group I went out with yesterday. The Saturday meetup is basically bars, drinking and dancing. They're super nice people, and I felt so great coming home yesterday, so I am leaning to that. Maybe I can do both. Unfortunately, no drinks for me at either event as I have to drive home. But I'm cool with that, and as I wrote in my last thread, it's nice to be out with people who don't care if you're drinking or not. My H used to always pressure me to drink. I know now that was to make himself feel better about drinking too much. I wouldn't say he was an alcoholic, but he definitely self-medicates. Anyway, that's in the past. For real this time. My marriage is over. I accept it now. Yesterday when I wrote the above post, I also texted my H. Yes, maybe unnecessary, but I felt I needed to do that. I basically said what I wrote here. I'm done. Our marriage is over. I'm moving on. Driving back home I get 2 calls, both from him. He has not called once since he left. Not once. Phone gone. I had a chuckle to myself. Phone now charging. But I'm out with the dogs now. Then to a meditation group after that, so won't be returning any calls shortly. Not really sure what to expect. If he was asking something simple, he would just text. Maybe blame shifting. Full moon 2 days ago. So anything is possible. I guess everyone gets there eventually. I just reached the end of my patience for drama and BS. I woke up the next day and knew I was done. Still no response from H. I'm not calling. Before I would have been questioning why he's not returned my call. Obsessing on it. Now I'm meh. Oh well, not my business. Moving on. We'll be having a chat with landlord on Monday. She mentioned someone has asked her about the house, so don't think there will be any room for negotiation. So back to looking for a new home. Found a job that looks good. I'd be good at it. But office closed till Tuesday. Will email CV today. It's like my mindset has completely changed. I feel calm and relaxed. I know I will be okay. Went to meditation group last night. First time. It was lovely. Small group and everyone were very friendly. I'm feeling better but have missed my nephew's housewarming party at Easter. Been sleeping most of the weekend. Just got off the phone with H. He called about the house and some money stuff, but he kept me one phone asking questions. Previously I would have tried to keep the conversation going. Not sure why he was trying to engage me. I just wasn't interested in having a conversation with him, to be honest. It was a bit like a conversation with an elderly aunt. Asked about job hunt, the animals, the car, possible retraining, etc. Asked if I was seeing someone on. No, I'm still married. Duh. If I cheat on him then he can feel better about cheating on me. Not going to happen. It was all a bit weird. I got off as soon as I could. It's funny, I can see exactly how I would have responded previously. I would have kept him on the phone for as long as possible, and then analyzed it after. He mentioned coming to see the animals. I begged him to do that ages ago. Not bothered now. If he wants to, he can, I guess. But I'm used to him saying things and not following through anyway. After my self-sabotage, I've managed to keep busy this week. Meetup, yoga, meditation group, saw my personal trainer. Went to the cinema, going to plan my week ahead now. It's given me a big boost being more sociable. Thinking of trying to find a cheap class or course, or workout class of some kind. 2 years later, H, yes, still married, is still with O but deeply unhappy. She is mega controlling, violent, abusive, and totally borderline BPD. I have done a lot of work on detaching but just not enough. He lives some distance away so he is not in my face. I've not seen him for over a year and a half. I mostly just let him be and he never contacts me at all, though will return a text if it's about finances or similar. I think the problem has been that I have expectations of him changing. It's not that I'm chasing him, it's my expectations. The only time I contact him is when I need to remind him about a bill. He pays only one bill, my course fees. Our finances are separate. I know it sounds mad that is almost 3 years and we're not divorced. Because of his crisis, I decided to let him run with it. Knowing absolutely he is not the man I married and is going through a mental crisis. I don't know anymore how I feel about him. He has completely changed personality and is very, very distant with me. I am completely different from the person he left in 3 years ago. Never mind back when we got married 15 years ago. I wonder if we were to meet as strangers, would I want to be with him? Things to think on, definitely. I have detached myself from him for a long time now, and only recently feelings of expectations came up. I know I don't want him back as he is, and I am more aware now that I don't want him back ever. My standards are much, much higher than they ever were before. I haven't filed because of the expense which I can't afford at the moment. I am working towards completely my qualification as a therapist and working part-time as a life coach. I have been in therapy for over a year and have worked out most of my issues. My comment: I wanted to post something different today, a healing story. Some viewers out there are still healing, and I just wanted to show what it's like on the other side. Things can get over time, but it requires a lot of effort for some people to detach. But you will get there one day.